Good evening and welcome to the rest of the news. Well, we had an exciting election just a few days ago on November 3rd. Ed Holloway here is going to help us evaluate what happened. We need to build on this start that we got last Tuesday and build on it. And as he's been saying over and over again, we need to be able to write our state representatives and our U.S. representatives and senators, all the elected officials, and tell them our opinion. We need to know what's going on, and we need to be able to write them and tell them what we want them to do. So the idea is, if you call us today, right now, we will put you on this list where we can call you, and we'll also email you and let you know what bills are coming up. Say, we just had a big bill in Washington where they tried to defund Planned Parenthood. Well, they didn't do it. And we have bills in Washington where they need to shut the border. Well, the Congresses can do that, but they won't because they're not hearing from us. And they're, like you said, they're bringing in more and more Muslim terrorists all the time. Well, Congress can stop that, but they won't. They're not doing their job. And we need to ask them, send them letters and say, hey, how come you're not doing your job? And what's going on there? Well, we would notify you whenever these come up for a vote. Write them. And it's all in this letter that we're putting out. And we'd like to get you into this network so that we can all be in touch, as you said, with our elected officials. So if you would call us right now, 893-2444, we'll put you in the network. We need your name, address, phone number, and email address. 4 things. And that way we'll be able to get in touch with you and let you know when these are coming up for a vote, give you the name of your elected official, and you can go ahead and write them or call them or both. And if you call us right now, we'll send these 2 bumper stickers absolutely free. This one says, "Together under God, we're invincible." In other words, we can't be beaten. And that's what happened last Tuesday. All the people got together and worked together, and we pushed back the forces of evil, and we can do it again. So we'd like to give you that. You don't have to put it on your bumper. If you want to, you can just scotch tape it on your back window, and it'll come right off whenever you want it. And the other thing that was behind the scenes is this, where we're turning back to God. And we need to get this word out. Somebody said, well, this election was so tremendous, it's triggering a revival through the whole state. This, where we're turning back to God, and we need to get this word out. Somebody said, well, this election was so tremendous, it's triggering a revival through the whole state. Exactly. So we need to jump on board. So if you call us right now, 893-2444, and let us know. We'll send you the letter and the 2 bumper stickers, and that way we can get together and let our opinion be heard.
And this is one of the things that's very important about communicating. The legislators will be in Frankfurt for 60 legislative days. And at the same time, they'll be filing for re-election. And next November, when they're up for election. Now, several factors are at play there. They're very constituent-oriented during that period. And in that thing about your contacts and the response is critical.
And so also, this is a critical time.
Exactly. And this other thing is that all of them have meetings and for their constituents in their districts. And they're very poorly attended on average. And this is another opportunity when you hear and get a mailing from your legislator,
Yeah, or see the
and your
signs up.
congressman is the same thing, is to show up and voice your opinion on the issues that are at most important,
Absolutely.
not only to yourself, but to your children and grandchildren. Because if that, the tide is not turned, and we bring America back to where it was originally designed and should to be, then we're going to lose everything.
Absolutely. This is a golden opportunity, and that's what this letter is about. And call us right now, and we'll get this letter out to you, 893-2444. This is our opportunity, and we're going to give you these 2 bumper stickers, too. And actually, we'll give you enough so you can give one to everybody in your church. Free. It's all free. And everyone in your neighborhood, every one of your relatives, everyone at work. And hey, it's time to get going.
Right. Once you receive that letter, also, and you've got other friends and people you
Yes.
work with and others, that more of them are available. All you have to do is call, and they will be supplied.
Absolutely. And if you, when you get your call and your email, try to get your email. Now, if you don't have an email address, get one from your friend or your neighbor or your relative, your grandson, your granddaughter, because we can email you for zilch. No cost at all to email you. But if we have to spend 50 cents on a stamp, then it's going to be expensive, or a call and all of that. So if you can, get an email address. Use somebody else's that's a friend, that's a conservative, that will tell you when they get the email, and you can work together and you can tell all your friends and get the whole state calling and writing their elected officials. This is our chance. God has opened this door, and we can walk through it.
Well, as you said, that this is a start.
This is a start.
We have set the stage now. If we can prove to the people that it works.
Yes.
Getting out and doing this, and they can turn the thing around, and it's not anything but the fact that that's where we need to start. I've been I guess you call it a student of history. I love history, and I've studied it all my life. And one of the frightening things to me about reading history and studying it from ancient times forward to the present is that 29 other civilizations are buried in the closet of the past. That couldn't happen
Help
to them
us,
either.
Lord.
And not one of them was destroyed from the outside. It was from the inside. The fall of Rome and everything else was not caused by external forces attacking them, but all of these because of complacency and apathy on the part of the people that allowed this to happen.
Right. You know, I was thinking of a song about this election.
Mm-hmm.
It goes like this: God still moves, God still moves in the hearts of his people.
Right.
God still moves. He does not sleep, nor does he slumber. God still moves, God still moves. I think that's sort of what happened.
Well says it all. Exactly.
It woke up God's children in record numbers, and they went out and realized that this was very critical.
Right.
And they went out and voted, and we can do more. And like I say, we can build on that. Call that number, 893-2444, and we'll get you into the network, how we can turn our state back to God.
Right. And as I mentioned, a lot of people are now complacent. Well, we've elected.
No, we can't do that.
Them. And the same applies to the national elections in 2016. The congressional elections are up, and people think, well, I might well re-elect our representative. He's brought so much money back. It's our money, and it's been wasted time after time.
Yeah.
The only growth industry in America right now is government.
That's terrible.
Average American cannot find a position. College graduates are coming out of school now with no ability to even bring to the marketplace any talent. And the recent statistics show that over 50% of those that graduate, there's not a job anywhere.
Well, now,
so all of these factors are to be turned around.
Yeah.
And it takes
you and me and you and all of us to do it. Everybody is important. Right. Call that number, 893-2444. 444. Now, I thought of another little saying that I think applies to this election, and that is honesty is still the best policy.
Exactly.
In other words, there was a lot of attack ads on television for months leading up to this election, and everybody knew that that wasn't true, and so it finally backfired, and honesty won out.
Well, one of the things that I see played into all of these things is what I call emotions and compassion.
Yeah.
And they use that as a tool to convert and people to hold them down. And well, this is the compassionate thing to do.
Yeah.
This is the right thing.
Oh,
this
brother.
is about the diversity. All of those issues are smoke screens for their ultimate agenda. And one of the things that has to be looked at is to look beyond the comment and look at that. And nobody talks about what will happen if certain things happen. What I call the unintended consequences.
Right.
Once
Right.
they're put in place.
Right.
Well, wouldn't that be nice? But no.
It
What
wouldn't.
would they?
The
end result is actually the opposite.
There's an author called David Horowitz, and he's put out a lot of little booklets, and he said the issue is never what it's
exactly
made out to be.
It's the old classic alphabet. They
Magician.
think about sell the sizzle, not the steak. And that's a marketing tool that they use politically now that used to be used by the merchants.
Love never fails.
Right.
Okay, so I was so impressed with Governor-elect Bevin that he never put out the attack ads. He didn't really even try to defend himself very much, but he just had a kind, loving attitude, and it just paid off out of nowhere.
Right. And there's a poem that I learned a long time ago that I think about quite often. And if you don't mind, I'll...
Oh, please do. Please do.
Isn't it funny that princes and kings and clowns that caper in sawdust rings and the common folk, like you and me, are the builders of eternity? To each is given a book of rules, a set of tools, and each must build, her life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. What we've got in this election was a stepping stone, and it's only the beginning.
Absolutely. Boy, that is good. I really like that.
Thank you.
Is that written anywhere?
Author was anonymous, so...
That is really, really good. Well, now, we want to get you in the network and be part of the solution to all these problems. Let's see, you want to know what some of the problems are? We've talked about a lot of them, haven't we? Right. But, the bad schools, the Muslims coming in hand over fist, the ever-increasing national debt, refusing to defund Planned Parenthood, refusing to close the borders to the heroin, all these drugs coming in large amounts to keep our children paying low prices where everybody can afford their heroin these days.
And all of that illustrates that thing about unintended consequences.
Absolutely.
We're treating the symptoms and not the cause.
Crony capitalism, where Obama's giving our tax money to big business that contributes to his agenda, shutting down small business jobs through unnecessary government regulation and the highest corporate tax rate in the world, increased regulation of healthcare, just giving the atomic bomb away to the Muslim terrorists. Wow. Okay, Ed Holloway, state representative, retired. Tune in again next week for the rest of the news.